Hi, I'm Charlie Clark, and I'm ready to be your mayor. And today I want to talk about how we can save $500 million as a city. For 10 years as a city councillor and for 4 months as a candidate for mayor, I've been talking to people about our community, and I'm hearing the same questions coming up over and over. Why are my taxes going up at the same time as my roads, my sidewalks, and my playgrounds are crumbling, and traffic is getting worse in our neighborhoods? Well, I'm here today to tell you that all of these three things are connected. And if we want to be serious about keeping our taxes down and keeping our existing neighborhoods vibrant, it's time to change the conversation. We need to stop going from year to year and budget to budget without a serious long-term plan about how to manage the growth in the city in a more sustainable way. Growth is good for Saskatoon. It creates opportunities for jobs and for taxes that will pay for the valuable civic services we need and shared opportunity for our community. The issue is how we grow, not whether we grow. And it's time now to start growing in a more sustainable way. Our city is at a tipping point. We're at about 250,000 people. And in the last 10 years, we've added 50,000 people and several new neighborhoods to the city. The problem is, for too long, we've been adding neighborhoods on the outside edges of the city without a clear plan for how people are going to get from their homes to their work and their daily activities. And that's why we're seeing bottlenecks and choke points as people try and move around this city. The other problem is we've been spreading ourselves too thin. We're having to make budgeting decisions between building new infrastructure and looking after the neighborhoods that we already have, our existing neighborhoods that are seeing that deterioration in their roads, their sidewalks, and their playgrounds. What I'm excited about is that Saskatoon has a chance to be the city that got it right. We can learn from our neighboring prairie cities like Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg that have grown so big they've lost their sense of community. They're facing massive infrastructure costs and rising taxes, and people are sitting in traffic. In my first year as a city councillor, I asked for a report from our administration so that we could understand the real costs as a comparison of adding new neighborhoods into greenfield areas or strategically growing on the land that's already been developed in our city. This March, we finally received a report that identified that we could save $500 million in future transportation infrastructure alone if we can be more effective at using infill as a way of directing our future growth and providing better transportation choices to our citizens. Because of this situation that we have created with poor long-term planning, we know now that we have to build at least 5 new overpasses to deal with many of the bottlenecks that have been created already. Every overpass is $50 million. And we have a report this year that tells us that we could fix up all of the existing aging playgrounds and parks for less than half of that cost. But for too long, we've been having to make decisions between building new and looking after what we already have. So the really important conversation I want to have as part of this election is that if we want to actually be serious about keeping our taxes down and being able to invest in our existing neighborhoods, there is no path to get there without changing the way we grow. The good news is, a more balanced approach to our future growth will not only keep our taxes down, but it is the key to Saskatoon becoming the thriving prairie city that got it right, with a vibrant downtown surrounded by revitalized neighborhoods that are great places for people to work, play, and to invest. I'm proud of what I've accomplished as a city councillor, but I've learned that changing the way you grow a city is hard. And that is why I want to run for mayor. It's one thing to have a plan on paper, but it's another thing to implement it successfully. It will take vision, it will take a strategic approach to leadership, and we will have to be very collaborative to get the results we need. So please join with me so we can save future residents $500 million and build the best city to live in on the prairies.